That is the challenge. That is the most challenging today. Yeah. Got it. So that is the challenge. You can draw only one line. It can be a curve as well, or whatever you want. Because now it's not true. How could you do the statement for true? So how could you change it? And now it's a participative and it's not like a theoretical question. So everyone is welcome to get any answer. And yeah, sorry for disturbing after the lunch, but it's exactly just to and a bit ice breaking. Yes, please. Yeah, exactly. That is the usual solution. So like it's of course they are not equal. Just to show it. Okay, any other solution?
Please don't show the other solution.
No, not yet. I just wanted to go back to the original one. Yes, now we know one solution. Any other?
Instead of x, you move to the right. The
speaker.
you make
6.
Yeah, exactly. That was the good answer. I don't know who was it. This is one creative way, just to saying 6 and then it will be 6. Okay, thank you. Another one maybe. Just coming back to the original, and there won't be any more, but to a bit more creative one.
a really thick horizontal line.
Okay.
Could be also.
No, 6 is lesser than 9. Is it?
No, I think that was this solution, that 6 doesn't equal 9.
No, changing to inequality.
Oh yeah, but you cannot make you cannot exactly make it with one single line.
Okay, ano to? Interpret mo nga. Ay, sorry.
Sorry? So it would be not a single line, it will be 1 times 6. So it's also, the thing is that many times in the education, I think we just faced quite simple problems, and we want to deliver the students also quite simple answers. But I think exactly like educators, our task would be just to be a bit more creative and let people a space to be more creative. And this is what I want to do with you as well. So please share this sheet of papers. It's not exactly the horizontal one that I wanted, but still. And for you that you are home, please try to make it for yourself. So now you have 30 circles, and you can draw anything what you want into the circles. So if you want 30 times the same, then you can write it. You can draw it 30 times the same. If you want to draw 30 different drawing from the circles, it's also fine. If you don't want to use all of them, it's also up to you. So please, you have this sheet. I know it's like a bit small, but still you have 30 circles, and you will have, let's say, originally it should be like 4 or 5 minutes, but I would say like 3 minutes or 2.5, just to make it, because we are like a bit after the time. So you have like 2.5 minutes, and use as much circles as you want to, and create any drawings within the circles. And now time is starting now. So you will have this sheet of paper. There are 30 circles in that. Use as much as you want with any drawing that you are inspired to make, and just to draw as much as you want within the circles. and there is no more instruction on that. So feel free to use the circles as much as you want. Do you have one more? Thank you. So I think time is getting over, and if you are happy to share it, then just write your names on that, and maybe after that, I will just collect it just to see what you did in this 2.5 minutes. But if you want to, you can keep it for yourself. It doesn't exactly make a difference. But there will be like kind of have a knowledge, but there will be like competitioning. 30 circles. Okay. Who use all the 30 circles and all circles with a different shape? 4 of you. Okay, 5. Have you went out from the circles? Yes. So who stayed within the circles? Only, and having only all the 30 ones and also different ones. You still? And you still? Okay. Because there is for the first place, there is 1 chocolate for the winner. There are a lot of things. Can you share it with each other? Good, thank you. Okay, so as a runner-up, you will take down this for the second one. But it's for Easter, I think, to the big German delegation. Share. Okay, and still, who? Okay, may I just have all the 30s? Who made really drawings? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. From who used all the 30 ones? Solar ones. That's fine as well. Okay. I will say I like that one as well, so you have to third this. So thank you very much. Why I did this? What do you think? Because I just wanted to share the chocolate. Yes and no. So I think the topic, as you could see, was the gamification, and this is what we exactly quite often use. And usually, I would say that like at least half of the academics just talk about it and use it. And there were some effects that now you can experience. How does it work? What we did, it's like a secondary comparative research exactly. So we said that we want to investigate 3 research questions. What are the learning outcomes of using game elements in the education? What are the challenges of gamification? And what are the future research direction in this field in the gamification area? And we use the Google Scholar as a database, and we set up some filter criteria. It was quite challenging because the most recent articles, they finished in 2020 or 2021. So we used only published articles from 2021 and 2022, so quite young ones. We didn't deal with the articles not connected with the higher education. So the focus was in the higher education. And only when they just really investigated with some research and not just described the game that they used. Which means that from the start in 2021, having the topic of the gamification, that were more than 700 articles on the Google Scholar, but at the end, as a filter, it was only 13 papers. So we just get the results of it and clusterize somehow the most important outcomes. So the results and yeah, so the discussion. So the 4 major benefits of the gamification we just made in 4 groups, and I would say this is the part which is quite well researched. So whether like a descriptive one or like a research-based article, it's quite well researched, the positive impact on the of the gamification on the education. The first one is like improves knowledge retention, so the knowledge acquisition on one hand and knowledge application on the other hand as well. I will come back a bit later on to that one when we have also the disadvantages of that one. It can increase the learner's motivation and engagement. Even, for example, when you have external rewards, it not exactly should be chocolate or something which is healthy or unhealthy or something like that. But for example, there was one quite long-term game of the Deloitte, and they could collect badges. And at the end, the participants just it was like kind of like a competition for the majors of the badges. There could be also content-related benefits. For example, if you just achieve some milestone, then you can access to something more within the play as well. And also challenging educational materials. The competition itself can be like also challenging when you compete with each other. I haven't shared that there will be a competition, but when I had the prize here, then you could just realize that, hey, we can get something, and it makes you like a bit more interested and a bit more engaged. Creates an effect of presence. So many times, especially when it goes on simulation, and I'm coming from Aston Business School, and this is like, of course, like on the business field, we use a lot of business simulations, and you can discover different scenarios, which even when you just play one time something, or if you have one case study, it's only one case, and you don't face with different situations, and it's quite challenging. The last one, which is not the so well researched part of the studies, it is the positive behavior change, especially on short term. And you will face this one at the disadvantages, but the learner's behavior on a short term can be changed in a positive direction. Of course, it just comes together with the motivation and the engagement. And in short term, gamification can improve the learning outcomes as well, based on the studies. Not so many. So I would say that less than 20% of the papers that we just went through, they deal with the disadvantages of the gamification. And as you can see, there are not as many points that I just wrote here, but there is the distraction and reduced learner attention. Some articles just mentioned that there are too many elements in the games, and a huge part of the students cannot follow what is happening, and when they are lost, then they just totally give up. That will be coming also losing focus, and when they lose the focus, the whole topic will be totally irrelevant to them, and they don't deal with them, and of course they don't understand it afterwards. There is a lot of technical challenges, and I think this is what we face as well also today. So there could be a lot of errors with the bandwidth, with the internet connection, with the technical setup as well, whether they can open it or cannot. So my first idea was to play a Kahoot today. I don't know whether you know Kahoot or not, but I was wondering if everyone will just participate. It's more than 70 people, and it will take like just a couple of minutes just to start it and just to play it, and I would lose like 10 minutes with that one. So you need timely also be quite framed in this one. Especially if you have like kind of lack of experience and lack of skills in using technology. And there's also like the ethical issues that some students started to game the system. So how to can play and how you can have advantages by playing against the system if you totally understand it. And the other hand, that a lot of them are cheating, and someone just mentioned here the ChatGPT. It can also solve some questions from games as well. And on long term, it's quite challenging, because on long term there was that was only one research, but it says that in long term that could be also like a negative effect on the behavior on the students when in the education there are too many games, because then they will lose the focus, and then will be like not a good one, and it will reduces also the learning outcomes. So it's quite challenging. We just wanted to clusterize really the answers of the articles on that one, and I think the most important of the article, I tried to summarize it, the possible future research questions or research activities that we can do in this field. And I don't want to go all of this one, but it's quite challenging because there are a lot of points what we could research. There is not exactly, at least we haven't found a systematic research when you can compare the gamified and non-gamified learning environment. So when you focus on the gamification, then positive effects, that's it. Then you focus on the non-gamified learning learning environment. Okay, what is happening? But not a systematic comparison of the two, and I think that is the most important. And also just to having a holistic research of the games, which means that sometimes, no, very often, the research focus on the outcome of the games, but they don't deal with the elements of the games. So for example, what is the content, what is the design, what are the colors, what are the screen components. In one research, there was some input on that having those kind of differences, also the input that you can deliver after the games will be totally different. And also, I think just to connect it, some of you, I think in the first or in the second section of today, there is also that how cultural background can influence the same games with different outcomes. So cultural differences in the impact, it would be also quite challenging. And what we just discovered, that it was like they were basic games and basic simulations, what mainly the articles are focusing on. There were quite few how to apply virtual reality or artificial intelligence within the games and the gamification in the education, in the higher education, via the gamification. So otherwise, yes, but how to use it as a gamification too. So I think that would be quite challenging. So we just started to scratch the surface of it, I think, with this one. And the point why we have chosen this topic was because all four of us just using games in the education, and we just really wanted to get some information on that. Thank you for your attention.